Good afternoon. The Department of Foreign Affairs says the Gaza Strip in Palestine is now under alert level 3 amid the ongoing conflict between Israeli forces and Palestinian group Hamas. Foreign Affairs Undersecretary Eduardo de Vega confirms to INQUIRER.net that Gaza has been placed under alert level 3, which calls for voluntary repatriation. The DFA says there are 137 Filipinos in Gaza. Earlier, DFA reported that 70 Filipinos so far have sought repatriation, but De Vega said they are still trying to get them out as a blockade has been placed by Israeli forces in Gaza. Israel's military says it is conducting a large-scale strike on targets belonging to Hamas in Gaza on Thursday, but gives no details. President Bongbong Marcos says the Philippines stands with Israel, which was attacked by the Palestinian militant group Hamas over the weekend. In a statement, the Presidential Communications Office says Marcos made a declaration when he met with Israeli ambassador to the Philippines, Ilan Flus, to discuss the latest situation in Israel. According to PCO, Marcos assures the ambassador that the Philippines will always stand with Israel in this war against the inhuman terrorist attacks by Hamas. For his part, Flus assures the president that Israel is doing all it can to ensure the safety of the missing Filipinos. PCO says the Philippine government also thanked Israel and the Israeli Defense Forces for rescuing over 20 Filipinos and bringing them to safety. Meanwhile, Marcos vows to provide utmost support to the families of the Filipinos killed in the Israel-Hamas conflict. In a social media post, Marcos says he made two of the most difficult phone calls he's ever had to make as president after talking to the families of the two Filipinos confirmed to have died in Israel. The Philippine Embassy in Tel Aviv, Israel, previously revealed that the two deaths were a 33-year-old female caregiver from Pangasinan who had been working in Israel for 6 years and a 42-year-old male from Pampanga. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu forges an emergency government to direct war against Hamas as his defense minister vows to wipe the Palestinian militant group off the face of the earth. In a joint statement, Netanyahu and former defense chief Benny Gantz say they had agreed to form an emergency government comprising the two leaders and defense minister Yoav Gallant. Netanyahu says they had put aside their differences because the fate of their state is on the line.
אנחנו נלחמים באויב אכזר, אויב שהוא גרוע מדאעש. ראינו ילדים וילדות כפותים שנורו בראשם, אנשים ונשים שנשרפו בעודם חיים, צעירות שנאנסו ונטבחו, לוחמים שראשיהם נחרטו.
Their joint statement says that during the fighting with Hamas in Gaza, the emergency government will not take up any unrelated policy or laws. Former Israeli Defense Chief and General Gantz says it was a time to join together and win. For his part, Defense Minister Gallant vows to wipe Hamas off the face of the earth.
ואני אומר לכאן לכולם, אנחנו נמחה את הדבר הזה שנקרא חמאס, דאעש עזה, נמחה אותו מעל האדמה. הדבר הזה לא ימשיך להתקיים.
Police say that the autopsy on the 14-year-old student who died days after he was slapped by his teacher shows the slapping incident was not related to the student's death. Antipolo City Police Officer in Charge Lieutenant Colonel Ryan Manongdo says the examination of the student Francis J. Gumikib's body shows he had a rare condition that caused a blood vessel in his brain to rupture. He adds that the police would then file a criminal complaint only for physical injury in relation to child abuse against the teacher. Earlier, the Philippine National Police Forensic Group revealed the student's death was caused by intracerebral hemorrhage or bleeding into the brain tissue, edema or brain swelling, and bleeding due to a ruptured vein. It said the blood vessel rupture in Gumikib's brain was non-traumatic in nature, caused by a disease they did not disclose. The Department of Education has ordered a 90-day preventive suspension against the teacher accused of slapping Gumikib. Here's the latest roundup of today's top stories. DFA places Gaza under alert level 3 amid Israel-Hamas conflict. Repatriation now voluntary for Filipinos. Israel's new war cabinet vows to wipe Hamas off the earth. And senators call for the probe on the recantation of LTFRB whistleblower Jeffrey Tumbado. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good afternoon.